Deep in the shadows of history, some objects exist solely to challenge everything we think we know about the ancient world's hidden capabilities. A singular, rusted block of bronze, pulled from the depths of a shipwreck, hides the lost brilliance of a civilization that time forgot. Within this calcified shell lies a mechanical brain, an intricate web of gears designed to track the very movements of the heavens themselves. Long before modern computers, there was a device so advanced it should not have existed for another 1500 years in our human timeline. The discovery was an accident, a ghost from the past, found resting in the silt, waiting for the right moment to reveal its secrets. Scientists initially saw only scrap metal, failing to realize they were holding the most sophisticated piece of technology from the ancient Greek world. This is the story of the Antikythera Mechanism, a machine that redefined our understanding of human progress and the true depth of ancient genius. Locked within these 37 bronze wheels is a calendar of the universe, a testament to a scientific mastery we are only now beginning to grasp. Prepare to travel back 2 millennia as we peel away the rust and salt to reveal the beating heart of a prehistoric supercomputer. Every tooth, every dial, and every inscription serves a purpose, weaving together the path of the sun, the moon, and the wandering planets above. It is a bridge between the divine and the calculated, a masterpiece of engineering that survived the crushing weight of the deep ocean floor. In the year 1900, sponge divers seeking shelter from a storm stumbled upon a graveyard of treasures off the coast of the island Antikythera. Amongst the marble statues and jars of wine lay a small, unremarkable box that would eventually change the history of science forever. At first, the divers ignored it. In a sea of gold and fine art, a lump of corroded bronze seemed like worthless junk. When the artifact finally reached the surface, the air caused it to crack, revealing the impossible, bronze gears hidden inside a stone-like casing. The world was not ready. History books stated that such complex gearing didn't appear until the clockmakers of the late Middle Ages. How could the ancient Greeks, known for their pottery and philosophy, have built a device that functioned like a modern mechanical watch? The discrepancy was jarring. It was as if finding a jet engine inside the tomb of a pharaoh, a total historical anomaly. Early researchers dismissed it as a simple toy or a navigational astrolabe, unable to conceive of the computational power hidden within the bronze. Decades passed with the device sitting in a museum drawer, its complexity invisible to the naked eye and the limited technology of the time. The Antikythera Mechanism remained a silent riddle, a piece of the future trapped in the past, waiting for a light that could see through metal. This was more than a treasure. It was a message from a lost age of enlightenment that had been buried by the tides of war. It would take nearly a century and the invention of advanced physics to finally unlock the door to this ancient mechanical mind. Every millimeter of the bronze was a calculated decision, every curve a result of precise geometry that defied the primitive tools of the era. The device was the pinnacle of a scientific tradition that vanished, leaving only this single, battered survivor to tell the incredible truth. Now, we step into the modern era, where radiation and digital reconstruction finally strip away the layers of 2,000 years of decay. In the early 2000s, a team of international scientists brought a 12-ton X-ray machine to the museum to look inside the heart of the mystery. As the X-rays penetrated the dense bronze, the screen flickered to life, revealing a world of complexity that stunned the research team. They didn't find just a few gears. They found an entire ecosystem of wheels, pins, and levers, all perfectly preserved in their original positions. The micro-CT scan revealed thousands of hidden inscriptions, many only 2 millimeters tall, acting as a user manual for the device. It was a revelation. The machine was not just a tool, it was a programmable computer that calculated the very fabric of time. By analyzing these slices, researchers could reconstruct the missing pieces, filling in the gaps of history with digital precision and absolute certainty. This wasn't just archaeology anymore. It was reverse engineering a technology that had been lost for nearly 2,000 years. 37 gears, each hand-cut with terrifying accuracy, worked in unison to produce a result that was nothing short of miraculous for its time. The text confirmed its purpose. This was a celestial calculator, a device meant to mirror the intricate dance of the solar system. The scans even showed where the gears had worn down, proving this was a functional, everyday tool for an ancient scientist or navigator. The level of detail was breathtaking. It proved the Greeks had a deep understanding of differential gearing, a concept thought to be much newer. As the pieces fell into place, the true power of the mechanism emerged. It was a window into the future and a map of the heavens. With the scans complete, the world finally understood the what. Now, we had to understand the how and the why. The virtual machine began to turn, and for the first time in 2 millennia, the Antikythera Mechanism was alive once more. It was time to see what this ancient supercomputer could actually do when it was at the peak of its mechanical power. This device was the center of an ancient universe. It didn't just tell time, it calculated the very rhythm of the cosmos. The front dial tracked the sun and the moon through the zodiac, providing an accurate reading of their positions on any given day. A tiny, rotating silver and black ball on the face of the machine showed the current phase of the moon with stunning visual accuracy. But its most terrifying power was the Pharaoh dial, which could predict solar and lunar eclipses decades into the future, down to the hour. Imagine the power of the person who held this box. They could predict the darkening of the sun before anyone else even suspected it. The back of the device featured a complex spiral dial, a mathematical masterstroke used to align the lunar and solar calendars over 19 years. It also tracked the 5 wandering stars, the planets, using a system of gears that accounted for their strange retrograde movements in the sky. Incredibly, the machine even had a social function, a dial that calculated the 4-year cycle of the ancient Pan-Hellenic Games, including the Olympics. It linked the divine movement of the stars to the physical competitions of men, uniting science, religion, and politics in one bronze box. To account for the moon's varying speed, the designer used an ingenious pin and slot mechanism, mimicking what we now call Kepler's laws of motion. This proves the Greeks understood that the moon's orbit was not a perfect circle, a level of astronomical sophistication that is truly mind-blowing. It was a physical manifestation of Greek mathematics, turning abstract theories of the cosmos into a tangible, working reality. Every turn of the hand crank was a leap through time, allowing the user to see the sky as it was or as it would be. This was the world's first analog computer, capable of solving complex astronomical equations with a simple turn of a handle. The user wasn't just observing the universe, they were controlling a simulation of it right in the palm of their hand. The precision required to calculate these cycles would be impressive even with modern tools. To do it by hand in 150 BC is unbelievable. This was the ultimate status symbol, a device that combined the beauty of art with the cold, hard logic of mathematics. It was likely a prize of war or a gift for a king, representing the absolute peak of human knowledge in the ancient world. But as powerful as it was, the machine could not predict its own fate, or the fate of the civilization that created it. The secret of its construction was lost, and for over 1,000 years, humanity would never build anything this complex again. The Dark Ages claimed the knowledge, and the Antikythera Mechanism became a lonely relic of a future that almost happened too soon. But who was the genius behind the gears? Who had the mind to envision such a masterpiece of mechanical logic? The trail leads to one of the greatest names in history, a man whose shadows still loom over the world of mathematics today. Many scholars believe the device originated in the workshops of Archimedes or his followers in the city-state of Syracuse. Historical records mention that the Romans looted such celestial spheres during their conquests, valuing them above gold and precious jewels. The ship that carried the mechanism was likely bound for a triumphal parade in Rome, intended to show off the superior intellect of the Greeks. But this wasn't just for show. In the ancient world, the ability to predict the future was the ultimate political weapon. To control the calendar was to control the people. The machine allowed leaders to schedule festivals, wars, and elections with divine authority. As the Greek world crumbled under Roman pressure, the high-level engineering required to build such devices began to disappear into the smoke of war. When the knowledge of how to make these gears was lost, the world essentially reset its technological clock by a millennium. The specialized tools, the complex mathematics, and the craft traditions all vanished, leaving only legends of bronze men and singing statues. It is a terrifying thought that humanity can reach such heights and then completely forget how we got there. The shipwreck at Antikythera was a tragedy for the crew, but a miracle for us. It acted as a time capsule, protecting the impossible. For 2,000 years, It lay in the cold, silent dark, while empires rose and fell, and the world outside changed beyond recognition. When it was finally found, it was so far ahead of its time that it took us 100 years just to realize what it was. The device is a missing link, a piece of evidence that the ancient Greeks were on the verge of a scientific revolution that was cut short. Each word we translate is a voice from the past, whispering the secrets of a lost technology that still puzzles the brightest minds of today. The Antikythera Mechanism remains the most important archaeological find in history, a solitary beacon of ancient genius in a dark sea. The legacy of these gears lives on. Every mechanical watch on a wrist today carries the DNA of that ancient Greek masterpiece. Our modern computers may be made of silicon, but the logical foundation, the idea of using a machine to calculate, began with bronze. We are part of a continuous line of thinkers, builders, and dreamers who refuse to be limited by the tools of their time. Today, we use satellites and supercomputers to do what that small bronze box did with nothing but gears and math. The research continues. Every year, new technology allows us to see even deeper into the fragments, revealing more of the inscriptions and gears. We are still learning. The mechanism still has secrets to tell, and each discovery brings us closer to the people who built it. It reminds us that human intelligence is not a recent invention. Our ancestors were just as clever, just as curious, and just as capable as we are. The Antikythera Mechanism is more than an artifact. It is a challenge to our ego, a reminder that we are not the first to touch the stars. It inspires the next generation of engineers to look back at the past in order to build a more incredible and technologically advanced future. Though it may be rusted and broken, the spirit of the Antikythera Mechanism remains indestructible, a golden thread in the tapestry of human history. The ancient supercomputer has finally been decoded, but its wonder will continue to echo through the ages, reminding us of our infinite potential.
Thank you for watching. This immersive experience was brought to you by the power of AI storytelling. We use artificial intelligence to reimagine the past and entertain the curious minds of the present. The quest continues.